In the cold vacuum of space, floating silently above Earth's surface, the UNS Titan gleamed like a monument to human ambition. It was the largest battleship ever built by human hands, minus 2 kilometers of reinforced titanium alloys, bristling with the most advanced weaponry mankind had ever conceived. Hundreds of long-range plasma turrets lined its hull, while its hangars held squadrons of fighter drones, bombers, and enough firepower to reduce a moon to rubble. The ship's centerpiece, though, was the gravitic cannon, an untested weapon that could theoretically warp the fabric of space itself. It was a marvel of engineering, designed not just to win battles, but to command the galaxy's respect. From the surface, millions watched as the Titan was unveiled in a broadcast that spanned the stars. News agencies from Earth, the Martian colonies, and outposts in the far reaches of the solar system covered the event, each trying to capture the scale and significance of the ship. It wasn't just another battleship. It was a symbol of humanity's readiness to be counted among the galactic powers. And everyone knew it. In the heart of the ship, Captain Mara Solis stood in front of the main viewport, watching as the blue marble of Earth shrank below. Her face was set in a mask of calm, but beneath the surface, she felt the weight of 1,000 eyes on her. The crew stood behind her, silent and tense, as the final pre-flight checks were completed. Solis could feel the electricity in the air, the anticipation, the pride, and the fear. They were about to embark on a mission that would either cement humanity's place in the galaxy or set them on a path to ruin. The voice of Admiral Halloran crackled over the ship's comms, breaking the silence. Captain Solis, the Titan is now fully operational. Congratulations. You're about to lead the most important mission in human history. Thank you, Admiral, Solis replied, her voice steady despite the growing knot in her stomach. We're ready. Halloran's tone hardened, a signal that the pleasantries were over. I don't need to remind you, Captain, that this mission is more than just an escort operation. The Elythians are an unknown factor, and we can't afford to make a misstep. The Titan must show strength, but diplomacy is key. You've been briefed on the stakes. Humanity's future depends on what happens out there. Solis nodded, though Halloran couldn't see her. Understood. We'll make sure this goes smoothly. See that it does. Earth is watching. The comm went dead, and Solis turned to her crew. Hundreds of eyes locked onto hers. Lieutenant Commander Janik, her second-in-command, stood at attention, his jaw clenched tight. He'd been with her through battles before, but this was different. Everyone on the ship knew it. We've been chosen for this mission because we're the best, Solis said, her voice cutting through the thick silence. This isn't just about proving that our ship is the biggest or the strongest. It's about proving that humanity deserves its place in the stars. The Elythians have kept themselves hidden for millennia. They've watched us, but we know nothing about them. They could be our greatest allies, or our most dangerous enemies, and we're the ones who'll decide which. She paused, letting the gravity of the situation sink in. We leave in 1 hour. I expect every system on this ship running at peak efficiency. This is more than just a mission. It's our chance to secure humanity's future. Let's make sure we don't waste it. The crew saluted in unison, a chorus of "Aye, Captain," echoing through the command deck. Solis gave them a firm nod and dismissed them to their stations. As the crew scattered, Janik lingered behind. He stepped forward, lowering his voice so that only Solis could hear. You think they'll actually want to talk to us, Mara? Or are we just walking into a trap? Solis folded her arms, staring out at the stars. I don't know, Janik, but what I do know is that we can't afford to back down. The Elythians aren't like the other species we've encountered. They're playing a long game, and we're just now being invited to the table. We have to show them we're ready. Janik gave a slow nod, his expression grim. And if we're not? Solis met his gaze, her eyes hard. Then we show them the Titan wasn't built just for show. Janik's lips curled into a faint, humorless smile. Let's hope it doesn't come to that. As Solus turned back to the viewport, watching the stars beyond, the weight of the mission settled fully on her shoulders. The Titan was about to lead humanity into uncharted territory, and the future was anything but certain. But whatever awaited them out there, they were ready to meet it head-on. The Titan glided silently through the black void, its massive bulk casting an imposing shadow over the stars. The crew moved with quiet efficiency, but beneath the surface, the tension was palpable. They were no longer in the safety of human-controlled space. The border between human territory and the Xaran Empire stretched out before them, a lawless expanse where the two species' uneasy ceasefire was barely held together. To many, the Xarans were a nightmare, warlike, cunning, and fiercely territorial. Entering their space with a super battleship like the Titan felt like lighting a fuse. On the bridge, Captain Solus watched the tactical screen with a cool, calculating gaze. A holographic representation of the Titan floated above the table, showing their position relative to the invisible boundary of Xaran space. Lieutenant Commander Janek stood beside her, eyes scanning the screen for any signs of trouble. All systems nominal, Captain, reported Ensign Neotre, her voice steady but tight. No contacts on long-range sensors. Doesn't mean they're not out there, Janek muttered, arms folded across his chest. They're watching us. I can feel it. Solus nodded. She felt it too. The Xarans had a reputation for ambush tactics, preferring to strike when their enemies least expected it. Traveling through this region was like walking into a predator's den, and the Titan despite its size and power, was not immune to a well-placed trap. Maintain full sensor sweep, Solus ordered. I want updates every 30 seconds. If anything so much as twitches out there, I want to know about it. Aye, Captain, Dre acknowledged, her fingers dancing across the console. The bridge fell into a tense silence, the low hum of the ship's systems the only sound. Outside the viewport, the stars seemed unnervingly still, as if waiting for something to happen. How long until we hit the next waypoint? Solus asked, breaking the silence. 22 hours, Captain, Janek replied. That's assuming we don't run into trouble. Solus sighed, her fingers drumming lightly on the armrest of her chair. We'll be lucky to make it halfway. Janek glanced at her, expecting an early welcome party. I'd be surprised if they let us get this far without a little something to remind us who's in charge out here. As if on cue, Ensign Dre's console beeped sharply. Captain, I'm picking up something on the edge of sensor range. 3 objects, closing fast. Solus's eyes narrowed. Show me. The holographic display flickered and zoomed in, revealing 3 small, fast-moving ships. They were darting toward the Titan at an alarming speed, their approach vectors sharp and deliberate. Xaran skirmishers, Janek muttered darkly. They're testing us. Or softening us up for something bigger, Solus added. She felt a familiar surge of adrenaline, the kind that always hit just before a fight. Tactical, bring the gravitic cannon online. Charge plasma turrets, and prep interceptors for launch. Aye, Captain, came the quick response from Lieutenant Jace, the ship's tactical officer. The bridge lit up with activity as the crew moved into battle mode, ready to defend their massive ship. The Xaran skirmishers entered weapons range within seconds. Solus could see them now on the main screen, sleek, blade-like ships with a faint blue glow that pulsed along their hulls. They didn't bother with diplomacy or warnings. The first salvo of plasma bolts streaked toward the Titan. Evasive maneuvers, Solus barked, gripping the armrests of her chair as the ship lurched. The Titan, massive as it was, couldn't dodge like a fighter, but its engines were powerful enough to shift its bulk just enough to avoid a direct hit. The plasma bolts fizzled out as the Titan's shields absorbed the brunt of the impact, but the skirmishers weren't done. Firing plasma turrets, Jace announced, his voice calm amidst the chaos. Streams of molten energy erupted from the Asterisk Titan's asterisk side, slicing through the darkness toward the Xaran ships. One of the skirmishers exploded in a fiery burst, but the other two darted aside, moving too fast for the turrets to track. "They're too quick for the main guns," Janek muttered. "They're trying to flank us." Solus's eyes flicked to the gravitic cannon status. "How long until the cannon is charged?" 30 seconds, Captain, came the response from the weapons officer. "Not fast enough," Solus growled. "Launch interceptors. Engage at close range." Within moments, a squadron of sleek fighter drones shot out of the Asterisk Titan's asterisk hangar, their engines flaring as they shot toward the Xaran ships. The skirmishers, sensing the shift in the battle, turned their attention to the incoming interceptors, weaving in and out of the drone formations in a deadly dance. "Cannon charged, Captain," Jace called out. Solus didn't hesitate. "Target the lid ship and fire." The Asterisk Titan asterisk shuddered as the gravitic cannon unleashed its devastating power. A pulse of energy distorted the space around the lid Xaran ship, crushing it in an instant. The remaining skirmisher, now outnumbered and outgunned, veered away, retreating into the darkness. Solus exhaled, her knuckles white from gripping the chair. The battle was over for now, but the message was clear. The Xarans were watching, and they weren't going to let the Asterisk Titan asterisk pass through their territory without a fight. "Damage report," Solus ordered. "Minimal, Captain," Dre replied. "Shields held." Solus nodded but didn't relax. This was only the beginning. The Xarans had sent a warning, and there would be more to come. She could feel it in her bones. The Asterisk Titan asterisk cruised through Xaran space, its exterior gleaming, but inside the ship, tension was mounting. Every sensor sweep brought more unsettling news. Flickers of movement just outside visual range, ghost signatures appearing and vanishing, and faint power spikes that suggested hidden ships tailing them. The Xarans were preparing for something. Captain Solus could feel it, as if the entire galaxy were holding its breath. "Captain, I'm detecting multiple energy signatures. More this time," Lieutenant Commander Janek reported from his station. His voice was tight, his eyes focused on the glowing display of ships converging on their position. Solus stood up, moving closer to the tactical table. The holographic display showed at least a dozen Xaran ships, forming a loose net around the Asterisk Titan asterisk. This wasn't a skirmish anymore. This was an ambush. "Shields up. Bring all weapons online," Solus ordered, her voice hard and focused. "Battle stations." Alarms blared throughout the ship as the crew rushed to their posts. The lights on the bridge dimmed, replaced by the cold glow of tactical screens. This was what the Asterisk Titan asterisk had been built for, but the sheer number of Xaran ships gave even Solus pause. These weren't just skirmishers. The Xaran Empire was sending a message. No human ship, no matter how large or powerful, could cross their territory unchallenged. "Captain," said Lieutenant Jace, the tactical officer, "Xaran fleet is closing fast. 15 ships, cruisers, destroyers, and at least 2 battleships. They'll be in firing range in 60 seconds. Solus clenched her jaw. "Prepare to engage. We'll show them what the Asterisk Titan asterisk can do." The tactical display showed the Xaran ships spreading out, attempting to encircle the Asterisk Titan asterisk. They were too fast, darting in and out of sensor range like wolves circling their prey. Solus had no illusions. Despite their technological superiority, the Asterisk Titan asterisk was not built for speed. It was a fortress in space, designed to take hits and deal overwhelming damage. But against this many opponents, speed wouldn't matter. "Fire plasma turrets. Target the lead destroyers," Solus commanded. The Asterisk Titan asterisk's massive plasma cannons roared to life, sending arcs of superheated energy toward the incoming Xaran ships. The first few shots hit nothing but empty space. The Xarans were too fast, evading the slow-moving plasma with ease. But then one of the destroyers got too close. A direct hit from the plasma turret turned it into a ball of molten metal, leaving nothing behind but debris. One down, Janek muttered under his breath. Only 14 to go. But the Xarans weren't retreating. If anything, they were getting bolder. A wave of missiles streaked toward the Titan *, glowing brightly against the backdrop of stars. Incoming missiles, Captain, Jace warned. Deploy countermeasures, Solis said, her eyes locked on the display. The Titan *'s automated defense systems kicked in, launching a barrage of interceptor missiles and flares. Some of the Xaran missiles were caught in the defensive screen, exploding harmlessly in the void, but a few slipped through, slamming into the Titan *'s shields. The ship shuddered under the impact. Shields holding, Ensign Trey reported, though her voice wavered. Solis felt a bead of sweat roll down her temple. This was a war of attrition, and the Xarans knew it. They were probing, looking for weaknesses, waiting for the moment when the Titan *'s defenses would falter. Gravitic cannon status, Solis asked, her voice tight. Charging. 20 seconds until ready, Jace replied, his hands flying across the controls. Good. We need to take out their battleships, or we won't last much longer. Another salvo of missiles hit the Titan *, shaking the ship again. On the tactical display, one of the Xaran battleships moved into firing position, its energy weapons charging. Solis could see the faint glow building along its hull, a sure sign that it was preparing a devastating plasma beam. Cannon charged, Captain, Jace shouted, his voice cutting through the chaos. Fire, Solis commanded. The Titan *'s gravitic cannon hummed, its deep, resonant sound vibrating through the entire ship. The weapon unleashed a massive burst of energy, distorting space as it raced toward the Xaran battleship. The beam hit the alien ship dead center. For a moment, the Xaran ship seemed to warp, bending under the pressure of the gravitational distortion. Then, with a blinding flash, it imploded, collapsing in on itself before disintegrating into a cloud of debris. The crew erupted in cheers, but the victory was short-lived. Captain, multiple systems are failing, Janek shouted. Weapons, shields, sabotage, just like before. Solis's heart sank. She had suspected sabotage after the malfunctions during the earlier skirmish, but now it was confirmed. Someone aboard the Titan * was working against them. Find the source of the sabotage, Solis ordered, her mind racing. We don't have time for this. We need those systems back online. The remaining Xaran ships closed in, sensing weakness. Plasma bolts and missiles rained down on the Titan *, the ship's shields barely holding. Solis knew they were running out of time. They couldn't withstand another assault without full power. Braced for impact, Solis shouted as the Xarans opened fire again. The Titan * shuddered violently, alarms blaring as critical systems began to overload. With enemies outside and a traitor within, the ship was in dire straits. The Titan * was in chaos. Red emergency lights pulsed through the corridors, casting long shadows as the crew scrambled to repair systems and fortify defenses. With weapons malfunctioning and shields failing, Captain Solis knew they couldn't survive another prolonged assault from the Xarans. But the deeper problem gnawed at her mind. Someone on board was sabotaging their mission, and it was happening at the worst possible time. On the bridge, Solis stood in front of the tactical display, the holographic model of the Titan * flashing with critical system failures. Janek was at her side, his jaw clenched in frustration as he analyzed the data scrolling across his screen. We've got hull breaches on decks 3 and 5, Janek reported. Emergency force fields are holding for now, but power fluctuations are getting worse. It's like someone's pulling the rug out from under us. Can you isolate the source of the sabotage? Solis asked, her eyes narrowed. She couldn't shake the feeling that the timing was too perfect, just as they entered the Xarans' most dangerous territory. I've got a team working on it, Janek replied. But whoever did this knows how to cover their tracks. It's going to take time. Time we don't have, Solace said, her voice low. She stared at the tactical screen, watching as the Xaran fleet regrouped for another attack. Their movements were precise, deliberate, and terrifyingly patient. The Ilithian rendezvous was still hours away, and the Xarans were determined to finish them before they made it that far. Suddenly, a new signal appeared on the edge of the display, unlike anything Solace had seen before. It wasn't Xaran. It wasn't even human. The signal pulsed with a strange rhythm, almost as if it were alive, constantly shifting and rearranging itself. "Captain, we've got an unidentified contact." Ensign Dre's voice was sharp with alarm. "It's not Xaran, and it's closing fast." "Put it on screen," Solace ordered, her heart racing. The main view screen shifted, displaying a shimmering object gliding through the void toward the Titan *. It was massive, dwarfing even the Titan * in scale. The ship was an intricate latticework of gleaming metal and light, its structure defying conventional physics. There were no visible weapons, no obvious propulsion system, just an ethereal glow that seemed to warp space around it. "The Ilithians," Janek breathed. "It has to be." The bridge fell into an uneasy silence. They had been preparing for this moment for weeks, but now that the Ilithians were here, no one knew what to expect. Solace's instincts screamed caution. She didn't trust the timing. This couldn't be a coincidence. "Comms, open a channel to the Ilithian ship," Solace ordered. "We need to establish contact before the Xarans get any closer." "Channel open, Captain," Ensign Dre confirmed, her fingers moving swiftly across the console. "This is Captain Marisolis of the UNS Titan *. Solace said, her voice measured and controlled. "We are on a diplomatic mission to meet with the Ilithian collective. We are under attack by Xaran forces and request assistance." There was a long pause, so long that Solace began to wonder if they had even heard her. Then, without warning, a soft, melodic voice filled the bridge, resonating with an almost hypnotic quality. "Captain Solace of the UNS Titan *. We have been observing your journey. Your struggle with the Xarans is unfortunate, but we cannot intervene directly. Such is the paradox of your existence." Solace blinked in confusion. "Paradox? What do you mean?" The voice remained calm, even soothing. "Your kind stands on the precipice of a great change. But your path to enlightenment is fraught with conflict. To evolve, you must confront the shadows within yourselves, the violence, the deception, the sabotage you now face." Solace felt a chill run down her spine. The Ilithians knew. They knew about the sabotage, the fractures within her own crew. But how? And more importantly, what were they trying to say? "I don't understand," Solace pressed, her frustration growing. "We came here to negotiate peace, not to be tested. If you can help us, why won't you?" The Ilithian's voice remained serene, but there was an undertone of sadness now. "To aid you directly would disrupt the delicate balance of your evolution. We cannot guide you through every trial, but we can offer insight. The traitor among you is driven not by malice, but by fear. Fear of what humanity may become." Solace's pulse quickened. The Ilithians had given her more than she'd asked for, but less than she needed. Fear. What did that mean? Before Solace could respond, the Xaran ships moved in, their formation tightening as they prepared for another strike. The Ilithian ship remained motionless, watching silently as events unfolded. "Captain," Janek said, his voice urgent, "Xarans are charging weapons again. We need to make a move." Solace glanced at the tactical display, then back at the Ilithian ship. They weren't going to intervene. This was up to her. She had a traitor on board, an enemy fleet closing in, and cryptic advice from an enigmatic alien species. This was the paradox the Ilithians spoke of, choosing between action and understanding. "We're on our own," Solace said, her voice resolute. "Prepare to engage the Xarans. We're not out of this yet. As the Titan powered up for another battle, Solas's mind raced. Somewhere on her ship, a saboteur was lurking, driven by fear of what humanity could become, and unless she found them soon, it could mean the end of her mission and the end of humanity's place among the stars. The bridge of the Titan was a storm of activity as the Xaran fleet tightened its noose. Plasma bolts streaked toward the human super battleship, rattling its already weakened shields. The Elythian ship, hovering like a silent monolith, offered no aid, observing from a distance. For all their wisdom, they were content to let the humans face their trial alone. Captain Solas paced behind her command chair, her mind racing as the situation became more dire. She had hoped the Elythians would intervene, but now it was clear this battle would be humanity's alone to fight. Yet the Elythians had left her with a clue. A saboteur, motivated by fear, lurked somewhere aboard her ship. But how could she find them amidst the chaos of battle? Shields at 40% and dropping, Captain. Ensign Dre's voice rang out, panic creeping into her tone. Keep those countermeasures firing. Solas barked. Don't let those missiles hit us directly. The ship jolted again as another wave of Xaran missiles hammered the Titan shields. They couldn't hold out much longer. Solas felt the weight of command bearing down on her. Not only did she need to repel the Xarans, but she also had to root out a traitor. If the saboteur struck again now, it could be the final blow. Janek, Solas called to her second-in-command, who was poring over internal systems logs. What's the status on the sabotage investigation? Janek grimaced. I've narrowed it down to engineering. Someone's tampering with power relays, but it's subtle. Whoever's behind this knows how to mask their tracks. Get down there, Solas ordered. Take a security team and find out who's responsible. We don't have time for caution. Janek nodded and left the bridge with a group of heavily armed Marines heading toward engineering. Solas turned back to the battle. The Xarans were relentless, their smaller, more maneuverable ships flanking the Titan and hitting its exposed sides. If the saboteur struck again, they wouldn't stand a chance. On the tactical display, Solas could see the Xaran battleships moving into position for a coordinated strike. They were ready to deal a killing blow. Gravitic cannon status, Solas demanded. Charging, Captain, Jace replied. But we need more time. We don't have more time, Solas muttered under her breath. Her eyes flicked to the view screen, where the Elythian ship still hovered, impassive. The paradox was clear. Humanity had to prove its worth through trial, without interference. But what was the cost of failure? In engineering, Janek moved swiftly through the maze of consoles, checking each power relay manually with his team. Every second was precious as they raced against time, knowing the ship's survival hung in the balance. He was about to bypass a terminal when something caught his eye. A blinking light, out of place among the standard diagnostics. What's this? He murmured, kneeling down. He reached out to touch the console when suddenly, the lights dimmed and a low rumble shook the floor. On the bridge, Solas felt the tremor. What just happened? Power relays are fluctuating again, Dre said, her voice sharp with alarm. Systems are overloading. Something's being rerouted. Solas clenched her fists. The saboteur had struck again, this time at a critical juncture. If the systems failed completely, they wouldn't be able to fire their weapons, much less maintain shields. Captain, we're losing power to the gravitic cannon, Jace warned. If we don't fire it now, we'll lose our shot. Solas's mind raced. She had to make a choice. Trust Janek to handle the sabotage and wait for the cannon to fully charge, or fire the cannon now, with reduced power, and hope it would be enough to break the Xaran formation. Either decision carried enormous risk. Fire the cannon, she said, her voice calm but firm. Even at partial power, we need to make a stand. Jace hesitated but quickly keyed in the command. The Titan Asterisks gravitic cannon hummed, its energy field rippling across the hull. A pulse of distorted space erupted from the weapon, streaking toward the Xaran battleships. The blast was weaker than intended, but it still packed enough punch to catch one of the Xaran vessels, crumpling its shields and sending it spinning into its ally. 2 Xaran ships were crippled, but more were moving in, unfazed by the partial strike. "Direct hit, Captain." But it wasn't enough, Jace said grimly. "The rest are still advancing." Solus gritted her teeth. "Prepare for another volley. Keep us in this fight." In engineering, Janek and his team had cornered a suspect, Lieutenant Varys, a junior officer. She stood by the terminal, hands shaking, as Janek and his Marines approached. "You don't understand," Varys stammered. "I had to do it. We can't trust the Ilithians. They're leading us to our doom." Janek's eyes narrowed. "Sabotaging the ship isn't the answer. You're going to get us all killed." Varys's eyes were wild, filled with desperation. "The Ilithians are manipulating us. They want humanity weak, divided. I did what I had to. We can't rely on them." Before Janek could respond, the ship rocked violently again. The Xarans were closing in for the kill. On the bridge, Solus braced herself as more warning lights flared. Shields were collapsing. Weapons were offline. The Titan Asterisk was on the verge of being overwhelmed. With the traitor exposed and the Xarans bearing down, Solus had one last option left. She had to decide: trust in humanity's strength, or play into the hands of an alien enigma. "Prepare for a final defense," she ordered, knowing the fate of her ship and crew hung in the balance. The Titan Asterisk buckled under the relentless Xaran assault. Shields were at their breaking point, and power flickered throughout the massive battleship. Captain Solus gripped the railing beside her command chair, her mind racing as explosions rocked the ship. Every second mattered now. With Lieutenant Varys revealed as the saboteur, the final pieces of the puzzle were falling into place. But they still had to survive the storm outside. "Shields down to 15%, Captain," Dre reported, her voice strained. "We can't take much more of this." Solus glanced at the tactical display, watching as the Xaran ships tightened their formation, preparing for a coordinated strike. Their intent was clear: one final barrage to destroy the Titan Asterisk. "Captain," Janek's voice crackled over the comm from engineering. "We've got Varys in custody. She's locked down the power relays, but we're working on restoring full functionality. She's been sabotaging the weapons grid and shield matrix this whole time. We'll have it fixed soon." "Good work," Solus replied. But the clock was ticking. How long until the systems are back online? 10 minutes, maybe less, Janek said. But there's something else. Varys wasn't acting alone. She's been receiving encrypted messages. Someone else on board is feeding her intel. Solus's heart skipped a beat. Another traitor. This ran deeper than she had imagined. Varys wasn't just acting out of paranoia. She was part of a larger conspiracy. Could the Xarans have infiltrated the ship? Or was there another force at play? Whatever the truth, she had no time to waste. "Janek, do whatever it takes to bring those systems back online. I'll handle the rest." Solus ended the transmission and turned back to the tactical officer. "Jace, initiate evasive maneuvers. Keep us moving while we buy time." "Aye, Captain," Jace replied, though his expression was grim. "It won't be easy. The Xarans are too fast. They'll pin us down before long." "Do it anyway," Solus said. "We can't let them get a clean shot." The Titan Asterisk lurched to one side as its thrusters fired, trying to maneuver away from the Xaran encirclement. But the Xaran ships were too agile, dancing around the massive battleship like predators circling prey. Plasma bolts rained down on the Titan Asterisk, each impact bringing the shields closer to failure. Solus's mind raced. If there was another traitor on board, they could strike at any moment. Varys had been driven by fear, convinced that the Elythians were manipulating humanity. But what if the other saboteur had a different motive? Was this sabotage part of a larger scheme, orchestrated by the Xarans or some unseen hand? "Captain," Dre called out, breaking her thoughts. "Incoming communication from the Xaran flagship. They're hailing us." Solas's brow furrowed. "Put it through." The main view screen flickered, revealing the cold, reptilian face of the Xaran commander. His eyes gleamed with malice as he regarded Solas with a predatory smile. "Captain Solas," the Xaran commander hissed, "your ship is crippled. Your crew will die. Surrender now, and perhaps we will spare a few of your kind to tell the tale of your defeat." Solas stood tall, refusing to show any sign of fear. "We won't surrender." The Xaran commander's smile widened, showing rows of razor-sharp teeth. "Brave words from a human, but you are weak. You put your trust in these Elythians, thinking they would save you. But they are nothing more than observers, watching as your species crumbles." Solas narrowed her eyes. "We've faced worse than you, and we're still standing. Humanity doesn't fall so easily." The Xaran laughed, a harsh guttural sound. "You have already fallen, Captain. You just don't know it yet." The transmission ended abruptly, leaving the bridge in tense silence. "Captain, what now?" Dre asked, her voice trembling slightly. Solas clenched her fists. "We fight. We hold them off until Janek gets those systems back online." But as Solas turned to issue orders, something in the corner of the bridge caught her eye. An engineer moving too quickly and quietly toward the power console. Her instincts flared. This wasn't right. The man wasn't part of the regular bridge crew. "Stop!" Solas shouted, but it was too late. The engineer reached the console, pulling a hidden device from his belt and slamming it against the power grid. A pulse of energy surged through the ship, causing the lights to flicker and dim. "Sabotage!" Dre shouted. "He's shutting down the power grid." Solas reacted instinctively, drawing her sidearm and firing. The shot hit the engineer square in the shoulder, sending him sprawling to the floor. But the damage was done. The ship's power flickered dangerously, and critical systems began shutting down. Jace cursed as his console went dark. "We've lost propulsion. Shields are down." Solas stormed over to the fallen saboteur, her pulse racing. She knelt beside him, yanking him upright. "Who sent you?" The engineer, bleeding and gasping, smiled weakly. "You're already too late, Captain. The Xarans will finish what we started." Solas slammed him back against the deck, her mind whirling. The Xaran commander's words echoed in her head. There was more going on here than a simple battle. The traitors were playing a larger game, one that threatened not just the Titan asterisk, but humanity itself. But there was no time to unravel the conspiracy now. They had minutes, if that, before the Xarans launched their final attack. Solas had to act, and fast. "Jace, reroute auxiliary power to the weapons. We're going to take the fight to them." As the bridge crew scrambled to restore what little power they could, Solas knew this battle had become more than a test of strength. Treachery was hiding in the shadows, and the real fight was only just beginning. The bridge of the Titan asterisk was plunged into a dim haze as power systems flickered and alarms blared. With the saboteur neutralized but the damage done, Captain Solas stood amidst the chaos, watching as her crew scrambled to reroute power. Their situation was dire. The Xarans were closing in, the shields were down, and their main weapons were offline. But Solas was not ready to surrender, not when there was still a sliver of hope. "Jace," Solas barked, her voice cutting through the din. "Give me an update on auxiliary power. How long until we can fire?" Jace, sweat beading on his brow, worked furiously at his console. "We're rerouting as much power as we can, but it's not enough for the gravitic cannon. Best I can give you is partial functionality for our secondary batteries." "That'll have to do," Solas said, gripping the back of her command chair. She knew the Xarans wouldn't wait much longer to deliver the killing blow. Time was against them, But the Titan still had one last move to play. "Janek," Solus called through the comms. "Where are we on the sabotage recovery?" Janek's voice crackled through the static, his tone tense. "We've got most of the systems restored, but the sabotage cut deeper than we thought. Shields are gone, but I've rerouted power to maneuvering thrusters and auxiliary weapons. We'll need another 5 minutes to get full control." "We don't have 5 minutes," Solus muttered to herself. She turned to the main view screen, where the Xaran fleet loomed closer, like predators circling a wounded animal. Their ships glided through the darkness, sleek and deadly, preparing for the final strike. Solus had never felt so cornered. The traitors within her own ranks had nearly doomed them all, but that wasn't the end of the fight. She knew that if the Titan fell here, humanity's future would fall with it. The Ilithians had made that clear. The Titan had to survive, not just to win a battle, but to prove that humanity was worthy of its place among the stars. "Captain, they're preparing to fire again." Dre's voice was sharp with urgency. Solus felt her pulse quicken. There was no time for second-guessing. "Jace, I need all remaining power diverted to the secondary batteries. Target their lead ship. We need to show them we're still in this fight." Jace nodded, his fingers flying across his console. "Diverting power now. We've got enough for one volley, but after that, we're tapped." Solus inhaled deeply. One shot. That's all they had left. But it was enough. It had to be. "Fire," she commanded. The Titan shuddered as its remaining guns unleashed a barrage of plasma fire toward the Xaran flagship. Streams of energy lit up the darkness, racing toward the enemy fleet. The Xaran ships twisted in evasive maneuvers, but the Titan's volley was fast and precise. The plasma struck the Xaran flagship's shields, which flared brightly before collapsing under the strain. A moment later, explosions ripped through the hull of the enemy ship, sending debris and fire spiraling into the void. Solus gripped the railing, watching as the Xaran flagship disintegrated before her eyes. But the victory was short-lived. The remaining Xaran ships, enraged by the loss of their leader, accelerated toward the Titan preparing for a counterstrike. Direct hit on their flagship. Dre shouted, but her elation was short-lived. "But they're regrouping for another assault. They're not backing down." "Of course they're not," Solus muttered. Xarans were ruthless. They wouldn't retreat until every last one of them was destroyed or victorious. Suddenly, the Ilithian ship, which had remained a silent observer throughout the battle, began to move. Its vast, lattice-like structure shimmered with a strange energy as it drifted closer to the conflict. Solus's heart pounded. The Ilithians hadn't intervened before, but was that about to change? "Captain, the Ilithian ship. It's powering up," Dre said, eyes wide. "Are they finally going to help?" Jace asked, his voice a mix of hope and disbelief. Solus stared at the alien vessel, her mind racing. The Ilithians had told her humanity had to face this trial alone, but they had also said they would offer insight. Were they finally ready to reveal their hand? Or was this part of the test, a final judgment on whether humanity was worthy? Before Solus could answer, a surge of energy erupted from the Ilithian ship, but instead of attacking the Xaran fleet, the energy enveloped the Titan wrapping the massive human battleship in a cocoon of shimmering light. The ship's systems flickered, and suddenly, power surged back to full capacity. Shields were restored, weapons came online, and the gravitic cannon hummed with newfound energy. "They've restored our systems," Jace exclaimed, eyes wide with amazement. Solus's heart raced. The Ilithians had intervened, not by fighting the Xarans, but by giving humanity the tools to fight back. It was still their battle to win. "Captain, all systems are online," Dre said, her voice filled with new determination. Solus nodded, her resolve hardening. "All right then, let's finish this." The Xaran ships were still closing in, but now, The Titan was ready. Solus could feel the tide turning. This was their moment. Target the remaining Xaran ships with the gravitic cannon, she ordered, and fire at will. The Titan roared to life, its main weapon charging with deadly energy. A pulse of distorted space tore through the void, slamming into the Xaran fleet. One by one, their ships were crushed under the weight of the attack, collapsing into twisted wrecks of metal and flame. As the last Xaran ship was obliterated, silence fell over the battlefield. The Titan had survived. Against all odds, humanity had struck back and won. Solus let out a breath she hadn't realized she'd been holding. We did it. But even as the Xarans were defeated, Solus knew the true trial wasn't over yet. The Elythians had intervened. But why? What was the real purpose behind this battle? And what did they expect of humanity next? The answers would come soon enough. But for now, Solus allowed herself and her crew a moment of victory. The Titan had prevailed, and with it, humanity's place in the stars had been secured. For now. As the dust settled in the aftermath of the fierce battle, the bridge of the Titan was filled with a strange mix of relief and confusion. The crew stood in stunned silence, their eyes fixed on the viewscreen, which now displayed the remnants of the Xaran fleet drifting aimlessly through the void, the last vestiges of the once menacing warships smoldering in the aftermath of the human counterattack. Status report. Captain Solus commanded, her voice steadying the crew. Shields are holding at 80%, Jace replied, scanning his console. Weapons are fully operational. We've suffered minimal damage compared to what we could have taken. Engineering reports all systems functioning within normal parameters. Casualties? Solus asked, her heart racing as she prepared for the worst. Minimal. Only a few injuries reported, primarily from the saboteur incident. We managed to contain the damage before it escalated too far. Dre added, relief evident in her voice. Solus let out a breath she didn't realize she was holding. Despite the chaos, they had made it. Good work, everyone. Let's get a visual on the Elythian ship. I want to know why they chose now to intervene. The view screen shifted, revealing the majestic Elythian vessel, its intricate design now pulsating with a soft luminescence, as if basking in the aftermath of the conflict. It was a sight both awe-inspiring and humbling, an alien technology that dwarfed the Titan in size and sophistication. As if sensing her gaze, the Elythian ship projected a holographic figure onto the bridge. The Elythian ambassador, tall and ethereal, with a luminescent sheen to their skin, regarded Solus with ancient wisdom reflected in their deep-set eyes. Captain Solus, the ambassador began, their voice resonating with melodic clarity. You have shown great resilience and strength in the face of overwhelming odds. You fought valiantly against a superior force. And for that, we commend you. Solus felt a swell of pride, but also an undercurrent of anxiety. Thank you, Ambassador, but we still have questions. Why did you choose to intervene now? Why not sooner? The Elythian ambassador nodded, their gaze steady. You were meant to confront this trial alone, to demonstrate the tenacity of your species. But the threat posed by the Xarans required immediate action. We recognize that your victory depended on unity, not just among your crew, but also in the potential for alliances beyond your world. Are you saying we could be allies? Jace interjected, his expression a mix of hope and skepticism. Indeed, the ambassador replied, the glimmer in their eyes intensifying. We Elythians have long observed humanity, noting your resilience, your ingenuity, and your capacity for cooperation. But it is this trial that has forged the foundation of trust. The Xarans are not simply a threat to you. They seek to dominate this entire sector of space. You will need allies to face what is to come. Solus exchanged glances with her crew. The weight of the ambassador's words settled on her shoulders. This was not just about survival anymore. It was about forging a future, a partnership that could change the course of history. "What do you propose?" Solus asked, her voice steady. "An alliance," the ambassador said. "A pact of mutual protection and shared knowledge. We offer you the resources of our technology and the strength of our fleets. In return, we ask for your cooperation and partnership in defending this sector from the Xaran threat and beyond." The implications of the offer washed over Solus, filling her with a mix of excitement and trepidation. A chance to ally with one of the galaxy's most advanced civilizations was a tantalizing prospect, yet it was fraught with uncertainty. What would it mean for humanity? For their independence? "Captain," Dre urged, her eyes shining with eagerness. "This could be the opportunity we've been looking for. With their technology, we could strengthen our defenses, learn faster, and stand against any future threats." Solus nodded, weighing the options. The potential was immense, but so were the risks. "Ambassador, we will consider your proposal seriously, but I need time to confer with my crew and determine how we will move forward." "Take the time you need, Captain," the ambassador replied, their expression tranquil. "But do not delay too long. The Xarans will regroup, and there are other threats that lurk in the shadows. Your future, and ours, depends on the decisions made today." As the holographic image faded, the bridge erupted into a flurry of discussion. The crew exchanged ideas, analyzing the implications of the alliance. Excitement coursed through the air, but Solus felt a heavy weight on her shoulders as the leader of humanity's last stand. "All right, listen up," Solus called, raising her voice to cut through the noise. "This isn't just about us. It's about every human who looks to the stars. We must ensure that any alliance we enter respects our sovereignty and our right to exist as a species." "We can negotiate the terms," Chase replied. "We have to make sure we're equal partners, not subservient to their technology." Solus nodded, her heart swelling with pride for her crew. Together, they had fought against the odds and survived. Together, they would shape the future. "We'll formulate a plan, lay out our terms, and meet with the Elythians again. This is our chance, but we must approach it wisely." As the Titan floated in the stillness of space, a sense of hope began to blossom. The trials faced and the bonds forged in the heat of battle had proven humanity's strength. They were not merely survivors. They were warriors, ready to carve their place among the stars. As Solus took her seat in the captain's chair, she felt the energy of the crew pulsing around her. They were united, a team forged in fire, ready to embrace whatever challenges lay ahead. "Prepare to send a message to the Elythian ambassador," Solus commanded, determination etching her features. "We accept their offer. It's time to forge our future together." And with that declaration, a new chapter began, not just for the Titan and its crew, but for all of humanity.